What is up, YouTube family?
Hey
Thank y'all for
guys.
tuning back in to Wilburn Shenanigans, where we always bring the shenanigans on this channel. If y'all new, make sure y'all smash that subscribe button for us. Give this video a thumbs up, notification bell is on at all times. So we did one of these before. We did liars, and it was crazy because there was a lot of lying going on in that one. They was lying they was lying it off.
Wait, which one?
When they was lying, the videos about them lying, they got caught lying. Remember the Maury, the girl she thought.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of other
my
lies
bad.
right
Yeah,
after that.
refresh my memory.
So this one is imposter edition. So I'm guessing people acting like they somebody else. I love these because I don't entertain. I wouldn't even be entertaining nobody.
I don't even know where this can go. So
the crazy part is people entertaining people like this on the internet.
They unmasked
Video
a
chat
bombshell
me.
beauty, one of Japan's most famous influencers. It actually turned out that he was a 50-year-old man who used filters. The news stunned Twitter users after they learned the
You
truth.
see what I'm saying?
That's such a lie. There's no way.
He used
There's
filters.
no way.
They say he used filters. See,
they're
that's why I'm
lying.
telling you.
They're
That's why you
lying.
gonna video chat me. Ain't gonna be no filter. Video
lying.
chat me right now. Hold up a blue marker in your hand and video chat me right now.
Young influencer had become famous for her beauty and for showing
Damn,
how
I
she
know,
traveled the
these are
island on a
nobody knew.
motorcycle.
Look at the filters.
On social networks, she had thousands of followers who were
Look.
surprised to discover that the entire time they were being fooled.
That's what I'm saying though. How
The
they don't know?
adventurous travel blogger with amazingly good looks wasn't in reality who she said she was.
Wait, that's a girl?
As reported by Gizmodo, the young woman had tripled her followers in the last month thanks to her beauty and exotic travels. It seemed as if there was no stopping her rocket ship level growth. It was all heading up and up, but then, as fate usually does, a stumbling block hit. A mistake was found, a mistake that gave rise to the suspicion of her followers. Followers who do not miss the slightest detail. In this detail that didn't
is
match, something was
crazy.
simple but glaringly obvious. The reflected image in the rearview
Actually,
mirror
was
of
over
her
there in the
motorbike,
photo liking
and
it.
one of her many
Mama, you already
selfies,
home?
it was a man.
I always say you that deep already.
That's how they found out.
All through a little thing.
Maybe
Dang,
if you push play.
The internet is good. The internet is good.
A man
Look
with
at that.
glasses in the reflection.
The
It was
internet
at this moment that the campaign of trying to find out what was happening began. Finally, an
No.
entertainment program called The
using an
Monday
app.
Late Show even
Why
got
you so-
involved.
Look at the hair.
Why are
the
you-
hair is totally different though.
It's using a filter. You can
Look
beautify it.
at the hair.
Woman, have you never edited before in your life?
The hair don't change.
Woman, there's apps. I have an app on my phone. You could beautify the heck out of some stuff.
So the hair changes too.
Yes, it's all kind of Photoshop. There's all kind of stuff it is.
And it was thanks to them that the truth was eventually uncovered.
That's
They found Asuza Gakuyuki and discovered that she, or in this case, he, is actually a man
I don't
with
believe
long hair identical to that of the
I'm confused on what you
influencer.
not
Because of
believe.
that,
He
they
used a
realized
filter.
that not everything was fake. The man explained that he started uploading photos as a woman because nobody wants to see a man, and that he found that as a woman he received many more likes than as a male.
so he's one of likes.
The reporters of the program, who showed a printed photo of the young woman, also demonstrated how the transformation takes place. And it's thanks to an application similar to the well-known
That's
FaceTime
crazy.
that changes the faces of people by different
Lord.
gender and age. The biker only has to contribute his hair and adopt a feminine attitude when taking the photos. Thus, you make sure to convince the audience that he was an attractive young woman.
Oh my God.
This is an amazing thing. As I'm
getting
sure
caught
you
lying
know,
now.
there was a big memorial service for the great Nelson Mandela yesterday in South Africa. Many prominent leaders from around the world, including President Obama, showed up to pay tribute. And as is often the case with a big event, they had a sign language interpreter on hand to translate for the
Translate,
hearing impaired. And the only problem was the movements the guy who was translating was making with his hands made no sense. Even if you don't know sign
don't even
language,
look like he's
if you watch this, you can tell.
Why they do that?
Why is he doing the same thing but just making
That's
time?
what I'm saying. Like he's not even doing. Like I could have imposted that better. Like
I don't know how to throw the gang side.
exactly. Like we would have. I know. Like we would have been like just pretending like. I don't
He only has like 3 or 4 moves that he repeats over and over here. Okay, that's it. That's him. And you see, he looks like a backup dancer for a singer we
Hey,
cannot see or hear.
did nobody catch this?
Inside joining
What about
in
people that gotta
this
read
week's
it? What was they
cigarette,
saying? Like,
inside
That's how they
to
found out.
prove
They're like,
and on to support, I would please to say from me to you.
He explained that during the memorial, he began to hear voices before witnessing angels enter the stadium. This put him under duress, and out of desperation, attempted to dissuade them with the motions we saw on stage.
It was an urgent Hurricane Irma evacuation order, but look at the sign language interpreter on the right. He's actually signing total gibberish. What's he really communicating to deaf citizens caught up in the hurricane crisis? Words like pizza, monsters, and the sentence, help you at that time to use bear hug.
It's happened again. Another sign language
so we just
interpreter
out here
accused
now.
of...
I feel bad for the deaf because we just out here. Y'all
They're
hired.
misinformed.
Are y'all not interviewing these people? Y'all just signing them up. Like, hey, who gonna sign tonight? I got it, bro. Don't worry. Who gonna sign?
That's horrible.
Signing total gibberish. This time it was at the police news conference announcing an arrest in the Tampa serial killings.
We will be charging 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Standing off to the side, apparently translating every word, this woman.
We received
Hey,
over
she
5,000
yeah, she's selling it.
case.
But it turns out much of what she was signing was nonsense.
She good.
She waved her arms around like she was singing Jingle Bells, says one outraged sign language expert. The woman, identified as Derlin Roberts, has a string of arrests for fraud. So how did she come to be translating at last week's high-profile police news conference?
I just didn't ask enough questions.
Tampa Police Public Information Officer Steve Hegarty told me the woman simply showed up out of the blue and offered her services.
An Albuquerque teen who tried to pass himself off as a sheriff's deputy.
Yeah, I can't, because these sign ones got me. It was too many. I was expecting just one. Y'all done came up 3. That'd have been me.
Faced a judge and was sentenced today.
It happened back in September when an Albuquerque police officer saw Brendan Wazinski on 4th Street near I-40. Lapel video here shows the 18-year-old had pulled over another car that he claimed was speeding. He told the officer he worked for BCSO, but didn't keep up the act very long.
Who work for? Early Sheriff's Office. Oh, okay. I know, I'm under-equipped. Okay, do you have an ID with you? This is all I got. I mean, like I said, I'm under-equipped. I was just heading over there to the courthouse. To the courthouse for what? To get my crap.
Because he had license plate on his car.
The wannabe cop sticks to his story.
I know, it makes no sense. I caught him going 120 down I-40.
The officer has Wazinski hang around while he checks on his story.
For starters, I know this looks really bad. This looks really bad. This screams whacker.
How long you been on?
About 3 years. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I'm not a cop.
Where'd you get that badge from?
I bought it offline.
Before heading downtown, Wazinski sheds a few tears in the back seat.
Lapel video shows Wazinski was wearing some type of uniform. He had a car with flashing lights and a police radio inside. Today, Wazinski showed up to court with a female companion. He pled no contest to impersonating a peace officer. Judge Sandra Engel sentenced him to a year of probation.
Hey, sir.
A year
my
of
son would like
probation?
to meet you. He really admires guys in the Army.
Hey, buddy. I'm Sean.
Where'd you get your 3 CIBs at?
Afghanistan.
All 3?
All 3.
You know you need to be in 3 different campaigns to get 3 CIBs, right?
This one was from Afghanistan.
Okay.
That's from Iraq.
Okay.
And that was for my second rotation back to Afghanistan.
You know, no matter how many you do, you can only get 1. For Iraq, Afghanistan, all 3, you can only get them. You know that, right?
Because my campaign took me outside of mission lines from Afghanistan.
That doesn't make any sense. And you're in 2nd Bet Rangers?
Yep.
There it is. Where's your combat patch at?
I gave it to a little kid again.
All right, why's your flag so low on your shoulder? It should be up here.
Got me on that one, bud.
Why are your boots are all on blast too?
They're what?
Because I literally just got home.
From where?
From Fort Lewis.
Fort Lewis? Is that where the Rangers are?
That's where we're stationed.
How come, where's your shirt underneath? Your tan t-shirt. What's your rank?
I'm a staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant?
Hold on 1 second. Staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant. He's calling a staff sergeant. Why is he calling a staff sergeant if he's already a staff sergeant? He's calling a staff sergeant when he's wearing the rank of a staff sergeant. That makes much sense.
Because he caught up.
Here it is, guys. Stolen valor at its finest. He's full of shit. Wearing a United States Army uniform. claims to be a United States Army Ranger. Why don't you just admit you're a phony? You know it's illegal, right? What you're doing right now?
Let me tell you something. If I was a phony,
yeah,
then I wouldn't be wearing this uniform.
You wouldn't?
No.
Because you are a phony. I just called you out on about 10 different things. This is illegal. What you're doing right now is illegal.
Dang, that's crazy. I never
The
knew
only thing is like you're doing it in front of your son. I feel like that's like.
Well, a lot of people go around doing that. They can say a lot of people be posting this.
No, I know, but to do it in front of your son, like, because
What
what if
he
that
said?
escalated? I'm just saying.
He
Cause,
gonna
like,
escalate because he gonna go to jail for part.
no, I'm saying like, what if he like escalated as far as like he got mad and then shit hit the fan? Like, you know, I just feel like okay, you did your part, but then you're like now following him.
No, because he probably like.
Now you're following him, not harassing him, like.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but
You know?
I think what he's saying, you gotta think.
I mean, yeah,
You gotta think coming from him, he probably served for him.
No, that's what I'm saying. I get
so
that
that's
part.
disrespect to them.
I get that part.
So
but...
you gotta think why he gonna step out of his comfort zone like that, disrespecting him. Like I serve, you don't.
Yeah,
and he
no,
probably
I
there
get
getting
that.
discounts
but now
and everything.
You're following him.
He trained. What are you gonna do that?
Oh.
You talking about a fake posing army person to a person that's probably really in the service? You think he gonna pose a threat to him? That man has seen the whole world, the war. He like, bro.
Legal. Stolen valor. Right here. Stolen valor.
Hey, let's go. Stop it.
At its finest. What's your name, dude? Okay. Thanks, buddy.
The Guardian is reporting that the man who was supposedly a key Taliban leader and was involved in peace talks with NATO and the Afghan government turned out to be an impostor. A man claiming to be Mullah Akhtar Mohammed Mansour, the second highest ranking member of the Taliban Council in Pakistan, was reportedly paid a large sum of money in exchange for continued negotiations. However, the scheme was unraveled when an Afghan official who had previously met the Taliban chief said he did not recognize the man posing as Mansour. The revelation is a step backward for Afghan President Hamid Karzai, who had put his hopes on a peace deal with insurgents.
Disturbing allegations tonight after police say a man pretending to have Down syndrome hired female caregivers to change his diapers and to...
What?
No, I ain't even. Give me a minute.
What?
Y'all gonna have to give me a minute before we dive into this. Cause this is,
Hiring people to change his diaper.
I'm not about to play with this because this is just. Bro, you need somebody to touch you. Go pay a person on the street if you want somebody to touch you. We like this that. Give them $20, $40 or something. You over here.
Well, Mark, as you can imagine, these young women are deeply disturbed. And on top of their allegations against this man, 12 News is learning he worked within the Chandler Unified School District, interacting with children.
Why would he do it?
These young women want answers. They, along with another 19-year-old woman, spending several months as caregivers for Paul Menchaca, a woman named Amy contacting them on carelinks.com, claiming to be Menchaca's mother, saying her son had Down syndrome.
She would talk like a child, he would act like a child.
The women switching off looking after Menchaca, oftentimes at his Gilbert home, where they were tasked with bathing him and changing his diapers.
Every time that we changed his diaper, he would always have an erection.
Court documents reveal in one instance, Menchaca aggressively said his genitals were not cleaned enough.
I was working with him for almost 6 months.
After dozens of visits, the caregivers realizing something wasn't right, confronting him in front of his family, his parents telling them their son does not have Down syndrome and doesn't need a diaper. And Menchaca is charged with several counts of sexual abuse and fraud.
In chop, you trust. They had to be, unless he played them to say he had Down. But he got to get because he would have to go to the doctor and be like diagnosed. So the parents had to know, because you can't just like, oh, mom, I got Down syndrome. Like, you got to be diagnosed, like the parents. So they had to be in on it. They probably didn't. I don't know. That's weird. That's a hard story because the parents got to know, right?
Unless he was using his parents' name, but at the point, it's just like, okay, so why else did you think these girls were here for?
That's crazy. That's sick.
Nasty.
That's nasty.
That made my stomach hurt.
As soon as they say you had an erection every time, that would have been a red flag. Why you keep just in here just happy all the time?
Mother, you can do this.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. But this was crazy. A lot of lies in this one.
That's just mind blowing.
This impersonating.
I never knew there was such thing as impersonating them.
Like, I never knew. We did another video. It wasn't like on it, but they showed another guy confronting the guy who had on that. I didn't know that was that big. Like people impersonating army or like people in the service. Like
I didn't even know.
I think that's a level of disrespect on a whole nother level. Like That's just.
But he was really going with it.
Yeah, like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like once you corrected me, I would have been like, okay, I gotta go, and I would have left. Like, I wouldn't have kept trying to prove my point.
But he probably got, imagine the discounts he probably. But you got.
That's what I'm saying. But he had a bag.
But most of the time you gotta get military ID unless you got a fake ID too.
I mean, he was in full uniform with everything. You think someone's really gonna ID them? How often do you, when it's senior discount, how often do you card seniors? You just look at them and be like, oh, okay, here you go.
That's wild. That one was wild. Let us know what y'all thought about this. So this was crazy. These lies are starting to get far. It's starting to get far, y'all. The Lord. That's all I'm going to say.